Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back. And I'm going to take another page out of Ace's book, or Trevor Johnson, however you want to say it, however you prefer it. I am going to do a case in Elite Mode in Pacific Bay, now that I know that they're still working to bring me case number 12. So, I'm going to do this case in Elite Mode. Hello and welcome to Pacific Bay, Sheriff Matthew. I'm Chief Marquez and I run the Pacific Bay Police Department. I'm delighted to have you on my team. We all need the top cops you can get to keep Pacific Bay safe. You've been assigned 2 partners to assist you in your investigations. One of them is named Frank Knight, and well, to be honest, he's on an anger management course at the moment. But for now, let me introduce you to your second partner, Amy Young. She's a new recruit, so I'm sure you'll have a lot to teach her. Nice to meet you, Sheriff Matthew. I'm so honored to be working with you. I've never been on the field before, but I'll do my best to be of help. I promise. Amy, why not kick things off by showing Matthew the local landmarks? Sure thing, Chief. Sheriff Matthew, let's go to the beach first. It's the most beautiful spot in town. I'm sure you'll love it. So, Sheriff Matthew, do you like the beach? The rich and famous have made it their playground, so it gets pretty crowded at times. But at least its natural beauty is... Shark attack! Arrgh! What's happening? Oh my god, there's a shark in the water! Make way, I'll take care of that fishy fiend. Oh dear, Sheriff Matthew, does that man seriously intend to face the shark alone? I can't watch. Tell me when it's all over. Phew! I had no choice but to spear the shark. It's dead, Sheriff. And, well, I really think you ought to take a look for yourself. Of course, Matthew. We should have a look at the scene and see if we can be of help. I'll take notes while you investigate. Oops. Pardon the interruption, guys. I have done one case already in Elite Mode, and that was case 30 in Grimsboro. But that was when I didn't have as much energy as I do right now. Okay. Oh boy. This chain. Broken object. Looks like a wristwatch. Soggy paper. You know, I have all the energy, so I might as well just do this. Oh dear God, the shark has killed a man. And I think I know who it is, Sheriff Matthew. That man was Jimmy Lewis, also known as Ice P. He's a star of a local reality show. Cameras follow him everywhere and broadcast his daily life to the whole country. People get their kicks from watching strange things these days. You're right, Sheriff Matthew. Something's fishy here. Ice P's hands are tied together with sticky tape, and ew, his fingers have been cut off. But wait, this means Ice P was fed to the shark. We're dealing with a murder. So that's why you picked those objects up. You're already looking for clues. I hope I can have your instincts someday. You found the victim's chain. It's got his name on the pendant. But what are those bits of fluff on it? Should we collect a sample of them? And you think these golden pieces of metal are linked to the murder? Do you think you can piece them together, Sheriff Matthew? Dear me, that paper you're holding is completely soaked. How on earth will we decipher what's on it? Ah, you'll also want to have a word with the man who caught the shark, of course. With so much to do, where should we start, Sheriff Matthew? I'm sure this will make Ace happy. I plan to share this with him, perhaps. I know the weights here are going to be double, but personally I don't really care. Anyway, I'll get some stars. I'll be right back. Alright. Now let's, I'm going to talk to Trevor Finn first. Sir, it was very brave of you to face this shark. Could you tell Sheriff Matthew more about yourself? Well, I'm just doing what I do best. Dr. Finn, shark expert at your service. And this shark attack is ever so exciting. No thrilling, no amazing, no wonderful. Dr. Finn, a man has been killed. I'm not sure it's something you should be rejoicing over. But it was such a perfect kill. The scent of blood from this man's wounds would have titillated the shark's sensory system like a 5-star meal. What a pity I had to kill it before it finished its mouthful. There's nothing worse than dying with indigestion. Of course, nobody can blame the poor shark for its instincts. Now, has anyone seen where I left my harpoon? I'm always losing the darn thing. Okay, let's do victim's chain now. There we are, 14. Nice work, Matthew. You've collected tiny feathers from the victim's chain. Wonder how they ended up stuck in that chain, though. Good idea, Matthew. Let's send them to the lab. "6 hours, that's yawn. Alright, broken object. Wow, Sheriff Matthew, I've never seen anyone fix a watch that fast. It looks quite expensive, and you're right, it's even been customized. There's a picture on the dial. Oh, it's a picture of Carly Lewis, Ice P's wife. So this watch must belong to our victim. I can't believe I forgot to inform you about Carly, but it's not too late to go talk to her, Matthew. Let's go. Alright. Mrs. Carly Lewis, Sheriff Matthew would like to ask you some questions about your husband. Oh, my poor baby boo. He was so rich. When did you see your husband for the last time? I assume you're both pretty busy filming your reality show. It was on this beach. We were filming a scene in which Ice P surprised me with the most divine crystal bikini. But now, he'll never be able to buy me things again. I can't believe this is happening to me. No, Mrs. Lewis, we're so sorry. But you know what they say, every dark cloud has its silver lining. Maybe this will be a good opportunity to... You're right, this tragedy will make a great season finale for the show. It'll be the perfect thing to honor my poor baby Boo's memory. Well, Mrs. Lewis says, something else. Her reaction to her husband's death was a little off color, don't you think? You're right, Sheriff Matthew. We'll definitely need to keep an eye on her. Okay, soggy paper now. There we are. Nice catch, Sheriff Matthew. That soggy flyer you found on the beach is an advertisement for a meet and greet session with our victim. The meet and greet took place yesterday on the boardwalk. I saw it advertised in the Pacific Bay Herald. Good thinking, Matthew. Let's take a walk down there and see what we find. Oh man, this thing is making me pissed. I don't know why this computer is so slow, but I hope that it stops it every time. Torn photo, alright. T-shirt, mailbox. Well spotted, Matthew. This torn photo was probably taken during Ice P's meet and greet session with his fans. I wonder why it was destroyed, though. Do you think he can piece it back together, Sheriff Matthew? I'll get a few stars. I'll be back. Alright, I got a few stars. Let's examine the torn photo. There we are, 16. Wow, you restored the photo from Ice P's meet and greet real quick. You're a true whiz, Sheriff Matthew. The photo shows our victim and a young fan. Nothing out of the ordinary, but it's still cute. Oh dear, I'm missing the point, aren't I? You're right, that woman in the background looks as if she hates our victim. This is suspicious. Maybe if we send the picture over to our tech expert, she will be able to identify the angry woman. Let's try it out. Okay, 12 hours. I'll let these three run their courses. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. All right, folks, we're back, and the victim's body is still being processed right now. It's under 18 hours. So I will get the results tomorrow morning. So let's get the results of the feathers for now. Matthew, good to meet you. I'm Jan Toussaint. I take care of all the forensics analyses. I heard about how well you're handling the shark attack murder, and I'm delighted to be the bearer of good news for you. I've identified the small feathers you found on your victim's chain. They're the soft, fine type that you find on the underbelly of parrots. However, finding feathers on one of your victim's possessions is exceptionally strange. Everyone in Pacific Bay knows he has a severe bird phobia. Oh yes, on one of the episodes of his show, he got attacked by a group of angry pigeons. And afterwards, people posted photos of Ice-P crying and covered in feathers on the internet. Poor thing. But if Ice-P wouldn't have approached the parrot, could the feathers have come from his killer? Oh, you agree, Sheriff Matthew? I'm so happy. So Ice-P's killer must be in contact with parrots. I'd better write this down.
She's the one who asked me if I wanted Jackson past cash.
And the fan photo.
She said I had to just give her a massage.
Did you?
Hi, Sheriff Matthew. I'm Hannah Choi, tech genius extraordinaire, and I can tell we're going to make a great team. That photo you spotted on the boardwalk was a super clue. You found the only local girl who hates Ice-P more than I do. Her name is Maggie Ryder, and she's a promising surf champion. What's more, she's already been given a restraining order against Ice-P because she kept throwing seaweed at him and his film crew. But why would she do a thing like that? That's not very sportswomanly. Ah, Amy, so sweet and innocent. Why don't you ask Maggie directly? She's probably down at the beach. Well, that settles it, I suppose. Let's go talk to Maggie, Sheriff Matthew.
See?
I was putting on my clothes in the hallway. The house manager gave me my $500. I took it.
Did he say anything to you?
He asked if I had any friends as cute as me.
Okay, and what did you tell him?
I sent my friend Tina. He did the exact same thing to her. Am I gonna be in trouble?
Why she hated the victim?
He's the one who's going to be in trouble. These photos are going to...
What do you want with me? I can't speak long. The waves are great at this time of day. I need to surf. Well, we heard about your tense relationship with the recently deceased victim, Ice-P, and Sheriff Matthew once. Tense relationship? Ha! That's one word for it. Because of him and his stupid Ice-P show, I might not make the surfing championships this year.
Did you get the search warrant?
But how could Ice-P prevent you from training? His TV crew kept blocking my access to the ocean during prime training hours. They had absolutely no respect for this beach or the people who depend on it, like me. Sunny Beach is the best surfing spot in Ocean Shore, so I'm glad that idiot got himself eaten. Now I have a chance of catching up on my training. Well, it's clear that the filming of Ice-P's reality show disturbed the lives of the locals in Ocean Shore. But is that a good enough reason to kill somebody? Do people actually go to such extremes, Sheriff Matthew? Okay, I'm going to let this thing run its course a bit more. I might speed it up at the end of the day, but we'll see what happens. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. I let the autopsy run its course, so for now, let's get the results. Great to meet you, Sheriff Matthew. I'm Roxy Sparks, coroner by day, party girl by night, and I hope you'll be joining us at happy hour tonight. Roxy, the chief sent out a memo about avoiding happy hour on weekdays, remember? Ah, Amy, teacher's pet as always. But let's get down to this great corpse you caught. First, let me confirm that your victim's death was no accident, and that your killer's murder weapon was indeed a shark. Now, I noticed markings on Ice-P's skin, obviously the result of a struggle with his killer. I noticed a particular pattern to these markings, which indicates that they were made by a shell necklace. Your killer's taste in jewelry is pretty questionable if you ask me. Great, Sheriff Matthew. Now we know the killer wears a shell necklace, and I'm sure you'll soon spot someone matching that description. Well, I hate to say this, but I really don't know where to turn next. To you, Sheriff Matthew? You're right. Recapping what we know will help us move forward. Let's see. Our victim was fed to a shark by a killer. A killer who wears a shell necklace and has recently been in contact with parrots. We've also met our victim's wife, who has an interesting way of expressing her grief, and his local enemy, the surfer Maggie. Hey, you guys have a minute? This is kind of embarrassing, but I just had a freaky flashback from when I was last at the Tiki Shack. It's still a bit blurry, but the point is, I'm pretty sure I saw your victim there. Well, it's a popular place in Ocean Shore. Ice P must have... You're not getting it. I saw your victim at the Tiki Shack right before he was killed. He didn't look too fresh either, and when he left, someone followed him. What? Roxy, are you seriously telling us you drank so much that you don't remember being the last person to see our victim alive? Well... Oh. Well, that's odd. Made it to level 266. But it didn't even give me OJ. Well, that's okay. So we'll get to chapter 2 after this. Alright folks, we're back. I did make it to level 266, but unfortunately the game didn't award me an OJ. But let's get to chapter 2 anyway. Roxy, how could you forget to tell us you saw our victim right before he died? Well, Amy, there's a little something that happens when you play drinking games, and it's called a blackout. When I woke up, I hardly remembered anything. But now I popped a couple of aspirin, the haze has started to lift. I definitely saw Ice P leaving the Tiki Shack and he was followed by someone. This could be a great lead. Can you tell us what the person looked like, what they were wearing, the color of their hair? Honey, I still have to figure out what I did with my house keys. But it can only have been a couple of hours before the murder. Trust the coroner on this. I agree, Sheriff Matthew. Let's go have a look around the Tiki Shack and search for answers. Faded paper. Cooler. Oh, I got the first star already. The writing on that paper you found is pretty faded, isn't it, Matthew? Is there any chance you could use some powder to reveal what was written on it? And what about this cooler you found? I would have never noticed it, but I clearly still have a lot to learn. Shall we look inside? Doing it right now. Sticky tape. Your instincts are spot on, Sheriff Matthew. The roll of sticky tape you found in that cooler looks exactly like the one which was used to tape Ice P's hands together. You're right, we better inspect it more closely. If it belongs to the killer, they might have left something on it. Okay. Grease. That was a real feat of precision, Sheriff Matthew. You've managed to collect grease from the tape roll you found in the Tiki Shack. You're right, we need to get this sample to forensics as soon as possible. Oh, no, I think this is the third. Okay, 12 hours. Faded paper now. A waiver. Fantastic, Sheriff Matthew. The paper you found in the Tiki Shack is as clear as day now, and it's a filming waiver for Ice Peace TV show. According to the waiver, a certain Zach Taylor authorized the Ice Peace show to broadcast footage of him, so he must have known the victim, but where might we find him? Great idea, Sheriff Matthew. Let's just ask our tech expert to track this Zach Taylor down in her database of local residents. I'll call her up. I'm in the middle of fixing a catastrophic error in our intelligence mainframe. What do you need, Matthew? Hannah, could you help us track down a certain Zach Taylor, resident of Sunny Beach, please? Just give me a sec. There you go. Zach Taylor, Sunny Beach resident and lifeguard. And according to the Coast Guard shift schedule, he's on beach duty right now. Super! Sheriff Matthew, it looks like we've got another suspect. Let's go question him straight away. About the filming waiver? Of course, there's no relation to the Zach Taylor from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Excuse me, sir, are you Zach Taylor? Why, yes, honey, why do you ask? We believe you are a regular on the Ice Peace show, and Sheriff Matthew would like to know about your dealings with the show's deceased star. Well, I met Ice P last summer when he fell off a cruise boat. He was trying to recreate a scene from Titanic for the cameras. Anyway, he panicked and I had to rescue him and take him back to shore. This became a very popular episode of the show, and I became good friends with Ice P after this. Aw, that's such a beautiful start to a friendship. I wish I could be a hero to my friends. Well, I don't know if Ice P would have agreed. When I took him to recover in the lifeguard hut, he saw our pet parrot and totally freaked out. That lifeguard's so impressive, isn't he, Sheriff Matthew? Oops, sorry, you're right. I need to stay focused. Oh, that's a great idea, Sheriff Matthew. We should definitely look around the boardwalk again. Our victim spent some of his final hours there, so maybe his killer did too. Carton, lollipop. Aha! Still got the first star anyway. And another 100. Cool. Oh, someone lost their cell phone, and from what's written on the screen, it looks like the owner is a fan of our victim. A new suspect, maybe? Oh darn, it's locked. I'm terrible with codes. Can you please try unlocking it, Sheriff Matthew? Ah, you've also found a fishing vest. Good idea, let's have a look through the pockets for clues. Alright. A map. Wonderful, you found a map of the ocean shore coastline in that discarded fishing vest. Part of this map seems to have more writing on it, but it's faded. Great idea, Matthew. Your powdering skills will soon reveal what this map is hiding, and it might be crucial for our investigation. Great job, Sheriff Matthew. You've uncovered lines on the map which indicate the migration routes of sharks near Sunny Beach. Who on earth would need a map like this? Ah, you're right. It must belong to Dr. Finn, the shark expert. Let's go pay him a visit. Got the map found in the fishing vest. Sheriff Matthew, you found my map. I've been searching for it for hours and I wanted to show you something. You see the red cross on this map? This is the point at which the shark's migration route comes closest to the shoreline. But isn't that also where Ice P was attacked by the shark? Exactly. He wouldn't have stood a flipper of a chance. And how delighted that magnificent shark must have been to find a tasty morsel smack bam in his path. Sorry, I'm letting my enthusiasm get the better of me. I just miss the good old days where there was enough sharks in the bay to keep every expert busy. Nowadays, I've been reduced to working part-time as a parrot keeper at the local zoo. They're alright, I suppose, but they're not sharks. I love sharks. Okay. Cell phone now. Wow, I've never seen anyone crack a phone password that fast. You got a special talent, Sheriff Matthew. And this cell phone's owner is a little girl. Look, her screensaver is a photo of her with Ice P and Carly at the meet and greet. You're right, Matthew. We should send this phone to Hannah. She'll be able to identify who that little girl is in no time. "24 hours. Okay, I'll let these two run their courses. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the grease. I'm under happy hour right now. This is superb work, Matthew. I compared the tape you found in the tiki shack to the tape around the victim's wrist, and they're a perfect match, right down to the severing spot. Yay! I knew you were right, Sheriff Matthew, which means that the grease you collected on it must come from Ice P's killer, right, Jan?
Prescription antibiotic that acts mainly in the digestive.
You're perfectly correct. The grease Matthew collected is very unhealthy stuff, but nevertheless very popular among beach bums. It's a mix of mayonnaise, ketchup, and sausage grease. To put it simply, hot dog grease. You're telling us the killer enjoyed a hot dog right before murdering Ice P? How could they think of eating at a time like that? The human psyche works in very strange ways, Amy.
Tell your doctor if you are pregnant, plan on becoming pregnant, or nursing. The most common side effects are nausea and an increase in liver enzymes.
And since I'm under happy hour, I'll go ahead and speed this up.
Tell your doctor about new Xifaxan.
Matthew, you're suspiciously good at tracking down hidden clues. I'd swear you were an ex-spy. The cell phone you unlocked belongs to a local kid called Augusta. She's the girl on the photo. She's a big fan of Ice P's reality show and pretty much follows the film crew everywhere they go. And she believes Ice P and Carly are living a real-life fairy tale. Isn't that sad? Aw, I think it's cute. You would. But if the frantic text messages she sent to her friends are anything to go by, she got a harsh reality check the other day. In her own words, she said she witnessed that naughty new Ice P having a blood-curdling argument with poor Carly. Intense, eh? Now that Ice P's dead, this information could be of vital importance. What should we do, Sheriff Matthew? You're right, we should verify the reliability of the witness first. Let's find little Augusta and ask her exactly what she saw. About what she saw? Hello, little girl. Are you Augusta? Sheriff Matthew and I would like to talk to you about Ice P. I won't talk about him. I'm not his #1 fan anymore. Ooh, it's so horrible. He swore to be your prince forever, and I know because I saw the proposal episode at least a gazillion times. But he lied. Why do you say he lied, sweetie? They are married, aren't they? Like princes and princesses are? I heard him tell Carly he didn't love her anymore, that he had fallen in love with somebody else. That's not something a prince says to a princess. And then Carly hit him with her parrot feather handbag and he passed out. And that made me happy. You're right, Matthew. From what Augusta just told us, it's clear that Ice P and Carly were having marital problems. And now I know that his wife had been in contact with parrot feathers. She's moving straight to the top of the suspect list. Let's go see her, Sheriff Matthew.
With the evidence you got, that's important. The three of us took a long ride for nothing.
Mr. McCoy, I didn't murder my son.
Then who did?
About her arguing with her husband?
You're the one who was running away from his life.
Ha ha ha, that's so cute. You think my marriage is on the rocks because Ice P and me were arguing? Oh my god, you people must live such boring lives. We fight in public all the time. It's good for the show's ratings. Okay, so he did get angry enough to mention the D word this time, but... The D word? D like divorce? Ice P said he wanted a divorce? But he didn't really mean it, and if he did, I would have made him change his mind. I'd rather see him dead than with someone else.
No, you may never get to court, Mr. McCoy. You got a grand jury to worry about first.
Well, Sheriff Matthew, thanks to you, we've made good progress on our murder investigation. It's only a matter of hours before we catch Ice P's killer, I'm sure. We got one new piece of evidence, and that his killer eats hot dogs. And we also know that he wanted to divorce Carly, which I'm afraid makes her our prime suspect. Sheriff Matthew, Amy, I'm glad to see you here. While you were busy investigating, someone dropped this photo into the station for you. Unfortunately, the photo has been torn quite badly, but from what Amy tells me, I'm sure you'll have it pieced back together in no time.
He was cashing out of his life. We can sell it at him. But first, he injects his son with a little bacteria.
He said he'd leave his wife, not his son.
That doesn't make sense. We still have 6 days to present our case to the grand jury before Downing's ROI. You can't convince me. How are you going to convince them? What do you know about his background?
Middle class, grew up in Meriden, Connecticut.
Holy God, I can't believe this.
What's his interest in microbes? Oh, he's counting beans for an HMO.
Great work, Sheriff Matthew. You perfectly restored the photo that was sent to us, and there's our victim on it. And it looks like he's about to kiss someone. Someone who definitely isn't Carly. Oh, dearie me, am I crazy or is Ice P about to kiss Zach the lifeguard?
He used to run in the mornings, but he gave that up to shack up with a girlfriend.
Oh my.
Sounds like a guy whose whole life turned out to be one huge disappointment.
We'll get to chapter 3 after this.
Feels like he's...
Alright folks, we're back. Let's start chapter 3.
Embezzlement and the mistress tell me he's groping for another strategy.
You perfectly restored the torn photo that was sent to us, Sheriff Matthew. And look, our victim's in it. But he's about to, kiss Zach the lifeguard? No, you're right, Matthew. Before I jump to any hasty conclusions, we should go talk to Zach about his relationship with our victim. Oh, good point. Since this picture was taken at the Tiki Shack, we better have another look there. I'm ready to go, Sheriff Matthew.
Like that guy in California torched his kid rather than lose custody. I love you so much I have to kill you.
You think he has a viable psychiatric defense?
Viable, I don't know.
Let's talk to Zach
If
first.
he's been in therapy a few years, his lawyer would have a platform for an argument.
Hey, Sheriff Matthew, what can I do for you now? It better be quick, though. It's my turn to cook hot dogs for the team. We're all crazy about hot dogs. Well, this is a little delicate, but we found this rather intimate picture of you with Ice P. What? Where did you... Who... Oh my God. Please don't show this to anyone, Sheriff Matthew. I'd lose everything. Being a lifeguard on Sunny Beach isn't just about saving lives. You got to make people dream. If I'm not the perfect ladies' man, they won't renew my contract for next summer. You see, Ice P and I have fallen in love, and if he'd been able to divorce his wife, I would have had the money to leave my job and come out of the closet. But now... Oh, Mr. Taylor, I'm so sorry. Look, please just leave me alone. I've already lost the love of my life, and I don't need any more financial hardship this week.
Yeah, I think you married the wrong person. That I trapped him in this empty, materialistic life.
Did you ever blame your son?
No. No, he and Ryan were the victims. There was something he said once. Aaron knew a
wanted to have another child.
Okay.
A few months ago, I was late, and Aaron got this look of panic on his face. He told Dr. Newman, what's the point in having more kids? You're just going to grow up miserable like me.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Aaron said kids were better off never seeing the light of day.
Murdered his boy because he was depressed.
Pink device, radio, dollar bill, peanut butter. Aha, surfboard.
He had his back up against the wall. Couldn't stay.
Beach ball,
This crackpot doesn't get out.
necklace,
And you
the
connect
valet.
bacteria.
Every supply house has accounted for its shipments, except the All-Gen Corporation. There's no...
Or stonewalling. They mailed the stuff to Downing, they won't come clean.
Go easy. We need their cooperation. We don't have a case without them.
We're putting Paula Downing in front of the grand jury tomorrow. Mr. Downing said some things in therapy that should convince them he's capable of this.
If we can indict him by the end of the week, we can keep him locked up. Thank you. That should solve our 180/80 problem.
Great job, Sheriff Matthew. This broken device you found in the Tiki Shack might contain some important information. And I'm confident you'll have this device repaired in no time. Your hands work pure magic. Ah, you also found a surfboard? It must belong to that surfer we met earlier, Maggie. Ah, yes, it even has her name on it. But what on earth has happened to her surfboard? It looks like it's been chewed on. Good thinking, Sheriff Matthew. Let's get the collecting kit out again.
We're not calling the doctor.
What difference does that make? You're calling the wife to breach the confidentiality of the therapy session.
Her presence defeats the privilege. There was no private
Gonna get some stars, I'll be back.
communication between Mr. Downing.
Alright folks, I got me a few stars. Let's examine the surfboard.
I suggested a protocol for handling pathogen orders. Routine credential checks, interface with law enforcement, waiting periods for the really nasty stuff. All sounds reasonable. Then the cost benefits analysis. My suggestions were too expensive. Cut into company profits. Buyers would go to the competition.
There we are.
President of the company.
14. Amazing, Sheriff Matthew. You've collected DNA from the surfboard you found in the Tiki Shack. What should we do with it, though? Try and match his DNA with the DNA registered in our database? That's a super idea. You're a real pro, Sheriff Matthew.
Your Honor, the President and CEO of All-Gen have interrupted their busy schedules, waived extradition and travel here at their own expense to answer this frivolous charge.
Manslaughter charge is not privileged.
Employed by the district attorney.
Okay.
Document production and the Downing murder case.
All-Gen's flat customer screening policies caused Brian Downing's death. These men should be held responsible.
Can you make out the charge, Mr. McCoy?
All-Gen's behavior was reckless. They refused to adopt safe
Oh, no.
distribution of bacteria. It caused Brian Downing's death.
The boy's father injected him with the bacteria, not All-Gen.
A shark.
Say to Mr. Downing, his son would be alive.
I can't believe it. The DNA you collected on Maggie's surfboard belongs to the shark that killed our victim.
There's a VRSA order.
You're right. Maggie must have been in the water when the shark savaged Ice P. We need to talk to her again.
Defendants on the manslaughter indictment.
Mr. McCoy,
About the shark bites on her surfboard.
you really think you can prove this?
Howard Jenkins is ready.
Maggie, we know you hated Ice P, and now Sheriff Matthews discovered that you came into contact with the shark that killed him. Now, if you had been attacked by this shark, surely you would have mentioned it the first time Sheriff Matthew questioned you, but...
If you don't get jailed.
Whoa, hold it right there. Surfers get attacked by sharks all the time. It's an occupational hazard.
Into the wind.
Once it saw that idiot Ice P flailing about in the waves, it let go of my board and swam towards him. And the next thing I knew, it was thrashing Ice P about in its jaws.
We're doing what we're all for.
I like to say that I wanted to help him, but that just ain't true. I paddled my board back to shore and went for a hot dog at the Tiki Shack. When I told that crazy shark guy about the attack, he left his own hot dog mid-bite and ran to the beach. Maggie, how could you lead this man to such a dreadful fate? Hey, I wasn't armed. What was I supposed to do? Stupidly risk my life for a man who was ruining my career? Get real.
All right, kill two vultures with one stone. Let's get the Downing jury.
I can't believe Maggie witnessed Ice P's murder and didn't say anything to us before, Sheriff Matthew. You're right, maybe she was more than just a witness. She was there when Ice P got attacked, after all. We'd better keep a very close eye on her.
The only VRSA shipment to the New York area in the past 12 months. It just turned up. Filed in our archives by mistake.
Already 2 stars away from the other crime scene.
Under the name of medical diagnostic labs.
I'll get the remaining stars, so I'll be back.
Trees and exotic plants. Both
Well,
Dr. Hillebrand
I'm already
and Queen
just
Emma took special
short ways
interest in
away
creating
from
beautiful gardens on the hospital grounds.
all the stars, so I
The
figured I'd
mallow
better
was
just get it
considered an
now.
exceptional tree that
Second
means
camera.
It's valuable for its beauty, ecological functions, and historical significance. Roger Murray, KITV Island News.
All right, if you're planning to visit Aiea Loop Trail this holiday weekend, you may want to change your plans. The trail is temporarily closed due to fallen trees. DLNR officials say that 2 landslides caused the trees to fall. Closed signs are posted at both ends of the trail.
There we are.
Open, but the trail is closed.
We want to get back to Brent and Miranda with a look at
Great work, Sheriff Matthew. You've repaired the broken device you found at the Tiki Shack. Ooh, and it's a cute kid's camera.
Today, the Hawaii Supreme Court issued
You're right, we better send this camera over to Hannah so she can analyze the data for
The
us.
state versus Yoshik won. The opinion means that some DUI blood and breathalyzer tests done within the past 4 years can no longer be used as evidence to prosecute those who were arrested. Since 2011, any
18
DUI
hours?
suspect refusing to take a blood, breath, or urine test gets arrested on the spot.
Alright, and I'll see you guys for when it runs its course. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, we're back. I'll speed this up right now. I don't compliment people often, Matthew, but I must say I'm damn impressed with the repair job you did on this camera. It works perfectly. Now, I had a look at the camera's memory card, and I found the digital negative of the photo you were sent. What's more, judging from the countless selfies of Augusta and her pet parrot, she must be the owner of this camera. So it was Augusta who sent us a copy of the photo. I agree, Sheriff Matthew. We should go see Augusta to get the full story. About the photo she took. Augusta, why did you tear that picture of Ice P and Zach to shreds? We know you're the one who sent it to Sheriff Matthew. Because I was so angry with them. Ice P abandoned his princess for a lifeguard. Now lifeguards don't even wear crowns, and now Ice P's dead and Carly's all alone. I thought the police should know about it. Have you arrested that bad man yet? It's more complicated than that, sweetie. You can't just arrest people just because they fall in love. But it's not fair! Who will take Carly out to eat hot dogs now? They used to go to the same hot dog vendor as I do, and I was so happy because I could see them. I will never believe in fairy tales ever again. It's lies, all of it. Sheriff Matthew, you must be close to catching Ice P's killer now. You've done such stellar investigation work. I'm still a little unsure which of our suspects could be the killer, though. Was it Carly because he wanted to leave her? Or maybe it was Maggie. Ice P was threatening her surfing career, and we know she was right next to the shark during the murder. It couldn't have been that little girl, could it? But she's so adorable. Nah. You guys, great news. I received permission from the Board of Marine Science to autopsy your killer shark. I'm so excited. This will be my first ever legal shark dissection. Come on, Sheriff Matthew, let's go. Under happy hour right now, so I might as well just get this done. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, fingers. Caution. Oh boy. Oh boy. Sailing knife. That's also a clue. Handcuffs, dollar bill. Right, dog. Oh my gosh, this is just amazing. Look, Matthew's found the victim's severed fingers. I can't wait to see what you'll collect from them, Matthew. Roxy, you're covered in... Oh, you mean my clothes? It's just a little bit of blood and guts, Amy. Nothing to fret about. Oh, but look at what these poor sharks are forced to eat these days. There's a knife in its stomach. Oh wait, I just realized something. Your victim's fingers were removed with a semi-serrated blade, just like this one. Matthew, you just found the killer's knife. Aha! Ice Piece Killer is as good as caught, Sheriff Matthew. I'll hurry back to the lab and prepare what you need to inspect those fingers and that knife. Examine the fingers right now. There we are. Great job, Sheriff Matthew. I'm sure the blue liquid you collected from the victim's fingers will be the decisive clue we're missing. Let's send the sample to Jan straight away. I'm on it. 30 hours. There we are, 15. What are those tiny creatures you collected from the killer's knife, Sheriff Matthew? They look so strange. You're right, these little things might tell us a lot about Ice Piece Killer. Let's get into forensics ASAP. I'm gonna let these two run their courses, and I'll see you for that. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of strange creatures. Those tiny creatures you found on the knife are actually micro jellyfish, Matthew. They're hardly ever found in these waters, but I saw lots of them when I went to Cuckoo Island. And do these micro jellyfish reveal anything about Ice Piece Killer, Jan? We need more evidence to put them behind bars. Don't worry, I've got one fine piece of evidence for you. The only way these little guys could have ended up on this knife is if the killer got into the water. And if the killer got into jellyfish-infested waters, they must have been stung. So now we know Ice Piece Killer must have very specific sting marks on their bodies. This is great, Sheriff Matthew. We're one step closer to catching them. Alright, I'll just speed this up anyway, even though it would have been one less. Nice catch, Matthew. The blue liquid you collected from your victim's fingers is lens cleaning fluid. That's great. But what does that tell us? In itself, not much, but when you take into account that most of the liquid was on the finger stumps, it means it got there after the fingers have been cut. Ah, I see Matthew's got it. Amy, it means the lens cleaning fluid was left there by the person who cut the fingers. By Ice Piece Killer, so they're wearing glasses. I'm totally writing this down, Sheriff Matthew. We'll get to that killer any second now. Sheriff Matthew, I've been rereading my notes, and if I'm correct, we've got enough evidence to arrest Ice Piece Killer. We've done it, Sheriff Matthew. Go us. I've never arrested anyone before, but since you're with me, I know it'll go well. Let's go bust our chops, as they say.
What's open? Who's got deals? Really getting for their money. We'll have all the details coming up.
Let's arrest the killer.
The U.S. Supreme Court has ordered all votes in the Native Hawaiian election to be blocked. How Native Hawaiians on both sides of the issue are responding tonight.
It's Trevor Finn.
has named a new head football coach. Police Paula Akana is on assignment tonight.
Dr. Finn, Sheriff Matthew is arresting you for the premeditated murder of Ice P, and you have a lot of explaining to do. Explaining? What is there to explain? Ice P is the reason I lost everything, and now he's paid for it. That idiot drove away the sharks so the shoreline would be safe for his stupid reality show. Now there's hardly any left in Pacific Bay. Because of him, I went from being a renowned shark expert to feeding parrots in a zoo. And then I had to watch him strutting around on the beach, taunting me. Now how can I be a shark expert if there are no shark attacks? So I thought it would be fitting that the man who had destroyed my career would be the one to help me with my comeback. And by Triton, now everyone will want my advice. Dr. Finn, I very much doubt anyone in the county jail will need advice on sharks. You're under arrest.
Just 3 days before the voting deadline.
Now what do we have here? Another darn crazy murder? Well, luckily Sheriff Matthew is here to catch the perpetrator. Dr. Trevor Finn, I'll give you the credit for being more creative with your killing techniques than most murderers, but now it's time you told us all how you did it. Well, ever since Ice P ruined my chances of a career comeback, I decided I'd make him discover the darker side of the shark world one day. So when I saw him stumble out of the tiki shack, pitifully drunk and ignorant of his surroundings, I seized the opportunity and led him away to a secluded corner at the beach. Then I tied his hands together with sticky tape and started to cut away at his fingers. He looked so pathetic and powerless to me, for once. Pipe down and stop that gloating or I'll throw my pudding snack at you. Actually, no, that would be a waste of good pudding. Just get to the point, Dr. Finn. Well, I threw Ice P's fingers into the sea and then dragged him too. Ice P started struggling a little, but I plunged his head under the waves and swam back to shore just in time to save the day. Well, that was very enlightening, my dear fishy freak. But the only creatures you'll be seeing from now on will be the ones drawn on the wall of Ocean Shore's prison toilets. Dr. Finn, for the murder of Ice P, I sentence you to life without parole. Phew! This sure was an exciting investigation, and I loved watching you in action, Sheriff Matthew. I can't wait to see what case your super criminal instincts and expert forensic skills will solve next.
Gunshot wound just outside a home on West Kavailani Street. Witnesses reported hearing gunshots. They saw a car drive off. The victim was taken to the Hilo Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Officials have identified him as Keola.
Charlie Lewis almost made the cut. No sting. Maggie Ryder cleared from the beginning.
He's described as 5'10", 160 pounds.
Zach Taylor doesn't wear glasses. Augusta cleared from the start. It was Trevor Finn. I'll see you guys for the AI. Alright folks, we're back. Let's go to the additional investigation. Congrats, Sheriff Matthew. Your first investigation in Pacific Bay is a success. Let's have a drink at the Tiki Shack to celebrate your first solved case here. Amy, want to join? Huh? I don't know. I still have reports to finish and... Oh, come on. It'll be fun. And you have the right to take a break from time to time, sweetie. Ain't that right, Matthew? Alright, I guess a break won't hurt, and it's also a good occasion to socialize and get to know you better, Sheriff Matthew. Great, we're good to go, Matthew.
As the night goes on, but once again, we are expecting things to be pretty quiet. It has been pretty wet, though, for Hawaii.
Carpe diem, as they say. Feels great to have some good times after work. So, Matthew, Wait, is that a kid over there? What is a kid doing in a bar, and why is she coming straight towards us? I can't believe it. All my dreams are broken. I can't trust anybody. Everything is a lie. I'm leaving forever. Forever. Okay, what the hell on earth was that? It's Augusta. We interrogated her after Ice P's death, Sheriff Matthew. What do you think happened to her? She seemed devastated, and she's just a kid. She might come to harm. Please, can we go look for her? Just when we were starting to relax and have fun, and I have to say, I'm not really comfortable when it comes to kids. Even when I was a kid, I didn't much like them. Matthew, I guess I can help you have a look around the Tiki Shack and see if we can find what caused this little girl's outburst. Great. And Sheriff Matthew, I'll go ahead to the beach since Augusta seemed to be heading there. I'll be waiting for you there.
Today, 93 Hawaii residents and 14 visitors now have contracted dengue fever. Officials continue to monitor cases for all the islands, but the current outbreak has been confined to the Big Island. The Department of Health is holding a community meeting tonight in Ka'u. That's at the Ocean View Community Center. It starts at 6 o'clock. The Laysan albatross breeding season has begun. It's a chance for you to help
Okay, let's see here.
native species.
Oh, ticket.
The season lasts from
Dolphin.
November to July, and the Department of Land and Natural Resources is distributing flyers and encouraging the public to help protect these
Okay,
precious
octopus.
99% of the Laysan albatross nest here in Hawaii, and they lay their eggs on the ground. That makes them very vulnerable to dogs, cats, and other predators. Females lay only one egg every year. The DLNR is asking owners to be extra responsible
Red arrow.
walking in any coastal areas. In recent years, loose dogs have killed a large number of nesting birds. There are only a few hours left.
Not my best score, but I try.
Official start to the holiday shopping season.
Matthew, what should we do now? I mean, I deal with dead bodies at work, not little kids. You say you noticed Miss I'm Leaving Forever dropping this ticket when she ran away? Nicely spotted. Let's see, ticket's in a pretty bad shape. Most of the text has faded. The sooner we decipher the missing parts, the sooner we'll get answers. Let's do this.
Retail shop Lululemon. Lens and coupons. Instead, the same spot in line for his girlfriend.
Okay.
That's just the fun of the Black Friday, I guess. You just want to hang with your friends and meet new people, and it's all about the excitement, you know, the thrill.
That buzz is evident around Colorado Center. All officials say Black Friday signifies the time when retailers start to turn a profit.
They
17 energy.
count on this day.
Great, the ticket found at the Tiki Shack really is Augusta's. There's her name on it. It's a VIP ticket for today's episode of the Ice P Show. Wait, they're still filming it? Didn't I autopsy Ice P this morning? You're right, Matthew, something's wrong here. This must be the reason behind that girl's runaway act. We don't know where Augusta is, but we do know where to find Carly. You're right. Let's go have a little chat with her about this episode.
I mean, that's the wrong thing, just to get good deals today. Experts say to keep that foot traffic going.
She knows about Augusta's outburst.
Open at different times, giving a lot of these customers a chance to get
Carly Lewis, am I right? Do you know anything about one of your fans freaking out after going to the filming of today's episode of the Ice P Show? While we're at it, why is the show still running, considering the circumstances? We're running one last episode to pay tribute to Ice P. Maybe this little girl got all emotional when the filming began. What's the big deal? I see you care deeply about your fans, Mrs. Lewis. It's heartwarming, truly. Look, kids will be kids, right? Sorry guys, but I need to get back on set. Even if my baby Boo's gone, I still need to make money.
The as seen on section of KITV.com. So the big question for those of us who did not get up early, it was those folks who did and stood in those long lines, was it worth their wait? Kroll reached a lot of crowds this morning, people looking to score some great deals this Black Friday, and they were not disappointed. The sale signs were up and the wallets were out. Shopper Matthew Maria Nunez had a great day.
Okay.
You know, pretty decent prices, not too bad.
Sandcastle.
Probably spend about $1,000. Probably spend more than that today.
Bow tie. Algae. Sunscreen.
This year at Hallmark is this Snoopy Christmas decoration.
Shorts.
Waiting for months for its arrival. Snoopy came this morning, and the dog's price tag on Black Friday 50% off. Shop smart this holiday season. That is the message officials are trying to get through to holiday shoppers. Consumer advocates are warning against possible gift card scams through the holiday season. One scam involves stealing the card's information before it's bought in the store. The thieves then check the card number online when
Bottle.
the card is purchased, and even use the value online before the real owner can.
Well spotted, Sheriff Matthew. Maybe Augusta destroyed this sandcastle when she ran away. You want to have a closer look at it? You think it's a trail? Oh, I do hope you're right. I'm so worried about Augusta.
And to be extra careful, only buy gift cards that are available behind the counter.
Officials also advise against purchasing cards online at auction sites, even though those discounts can be very enticing. Officials
There we go. Sheriff Sheriff Matthew, you're incredible. That magic wand you found in the sandcastle definitely looks like something Augusta would carry around. So it means she was at the beach for sure. But she's nowhere to be seen. Where could she be right now? Oh, of course, Matthew. Zach is this beach's lifeguard. He probably saw something. Let's talk to him. Ask Zach if he saw Augusta. Hello again, Zach. Is there any way you've seen a little girl in a princess dress passing by? No, I didn't see anything, sorry. But I've been pretty preoccupied since Ice P. Oh, of course, sorry, I forgot. It's alright. Life goes on for me at least. Zach, could you give Sheriff Matthew a hand? You could ask around to see if anyone saw the girl. Her name's Augusta Lopez. Sure thing, I'll spread the word. Part of the lifeguard's duty. I'll let you know as soon as I got some info, Sheriff Matthew. And take the spare lifeguard outfit. That's a gift. You've more than proved you are as dedicated to the safety of people around here as I am. Sheriff Matthew, I'm really worried. It's been hours and there's still no trace of Augusta. Maybe we should report her missing. Matthew's right, Amy. You shouldn't worry so. Let's recap what we've learned, alright? So we know that Augusta was at the filming of the Ice P show and then freaked out and ran away. And thanks to Matthew, we also know she was at the beach at some point. She probably didn't go far. Let's just hope Mr. Hanson over there did what you asked him to do and is coming to see us with some useful info. Hey, Sheriff Matthew, I spread the word like you said. A lot of people told me they saw a little girl sobbing and eating ice cream on the boardwalk. See, Amy? I bet you that's Augusta. Thanks, gorgeous. Care for a drink? Rocky, this isn't the time. Sheriff Matthew, let's go to the boardwalk to see if Augusta's still there.
The rule states that the owner of this truck is hereby available to his friends for hauling items of any kind.
Ice cream kiosk.
Are you up for the challenge? We thought so. Visit us at jchevrolet.com.
Aha! There's Augusta.
Exciting, just in time for the holidays.
Cocktail, White House, $3, Color Cubes, Hilton Hotel.
Last week, the frozen magic used in her show is what makes this outdoor ice rink possible. She even took to the ice gliding with dozens of other skaters. A full combination for a winter experience in the tropical paradise.
Aha!
Beach park, you can see the ocean while you're skating.
You found her, Sheriff Matthew. You found Augusta. Hey, sweetie, you gave us all such a fright. Are you all right? Leave me alone. Don't call me sweetie. I hate it. Augusta, wait. Sheriff Matthew, what should we do? We can't leave her like this. Oh, you're right. We haven't even given her back her magic wand. Let's catch up with her.
So, Brenton, how's the food over there?
Hey, Yanji, I brought somebody along to answer that question for me. He's the unofficial official taste tester of Eat the Street.
Well, I'm not speechless, so...
Okay, let's ask Augusta what's wrong.
Just isn't much to talk about. Take a look at our roads.
Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I was betrayed. We're so sorry you're feeling so sad. But Sheriff Matthew found your magic wand. Look. My wand. Thanks, Sheriff Matthew. My mommy bought me a VIP ticket to the Ice P show filming, but when I got there, there were men, and boo-hoo-hoo. I'm so mad at Carly. She's not a princess at all. Wait, hold on, honey. What are you talking about exactly? What men? What did you see? I took a picture on my phone. Here. I don't want to look at it ever again. Oh dear, Sheriff Matthew, this phone looks broken. We'll have to see Hannah to fix it. Please, Augusta, wait for us here, okay? We'll be back soon. You want me to get the info from that broken phone? Look at this mess. Kids, they shouldn't have the right to have phones. Alright, I can extract the data, maybe even fix it, who knows. I'll tell you when I'm done with the little brat's phone, Matthew. 12 hours. I'll let it run its course, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to get the results of Augusta's broken phone. Matthew, this kid's phone is corrupted to the core. I found ice cream everywhere. Like, really. Of course, since it's me we're talking about, I still managed to save this picture to save the phone's files. Could someone explain to me what this picture is all about? Those men all look like Ice P. Did they organize a casting to replace the real Ice P? I'm so confused, but you're right, Sheriff Matthew. We should go talk to Carly about this casting. I'll pick Augusta up on the way to the set. About Ice P lookalikes casting? You again, Sheriff Matthew. I guess nobody gets tired of being seen around stars like me. You monster! You want to replace Ice P! I saw all the people in line. They all look like him. They all looked like him, but he's dead. There were actors who wanted to replace him in the show. They even repeated for the scene where he dies. Hoo. What? Carly, is that true? Yes, it is. I saw it. Tell them, Carly. Okay, fine. The little girl's right. I plan to use actors to reenact my baby boo's tragic end. That's how it works. Drama sells. Ice P would have wanted the show to go on. But none of these wannabes came close to my Ice P's classiness, so we scrapped the idea. We'll have to think of something else. So no one will replace Ice P? No, little girl. It seems nobody can. And what a shame it is. But never mind. Ice P likes to splurge, and so do I. Sheriff Matthew, here's a little donation for finding my baby boo's killer. And I'm treating all of you to some hamburgers. Oh, thank you very much. Feels great not to chase after this kid anymore, Matthew. And I have to say, I wonder how you didn't lose your nerve. She was a handful. I'm just so happy we found Augusta. Thank you so much for taking care of us, Sheriff Matthew. I definitely couldn't have done it on my own. So, we're here having fun, having drinks after this long day. And what do you say we all watch the last episode of the Ice P show? I mean, we deserve to have some fun after slaving so hard. Well, oh, why not? But can we stop at the ice cream shop on the way? I don't know why, but I've been craving ice cream all day long. Let's go have fun, Sheriff Matthew. And I get an extra OJ to go with it. Will I do another case in elite mode? I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But we'll see what happens. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then.